Just felt called to get on tonight, possibly answer some questions about astrology that anybody might have, and also give a message to kind of build on what I talked before about Pluto and Aquarius. As I'm waiting to see if anybody comes in, I'm going to give a direct message to anybody who has directly been trying to come against me. I know that there are three-letter people watching me, and I know that there are and have been witches aligned with the dark side, what is not within universal law, aligned with universal law, coming against me. Mediums that might be working with these three-letter organizations, but also just witches too, and sorcerers independently as well, trying to come against me and what I'm trying to do. So let me be very clear. I work with source, and I work with what is in accordance with universal law, and what you're doing is not in accordance with universal law. What is for the highest good of all involved, and that will always prevail. And I'm transmuting now, and in the quantum, anything that you directed towards me that is not serving for my highest good or the highest good of those watching. And I continually transmute that. I'm divinely guided and protected by many angels, my dragons, and my team. So you will have to face them in the astral. I know I have some pretty powerful teammates on the other side. So with that out of the way, if anybody has any questions, any astrology questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them. Looks like there's one person watching, two people watching. Hello. You guys have any questions? Hope you and everybody's doing well, hanging in there with these intense energies and intense times, but it's really an amazing time to be alive right now. We're at like one of the most pivotal moments in human history. Give it another minute or two to allow you to ask any questions. And if not, then I will go into my message for Pluto and Aquarius. Can answer questions about your chart, just in general astrology questions. It's a nice crisp night here where I am in Indiana. Even though it's still winter, it feels like spring. Or it actually feels like spring, I should say. It's been very, very warm here. I think it's a reflection of solar activity and Mother Earth changing, aligning with the new Earth, 5D Earth. All right, well, I guess I will move into my Pluto and Aquarius message. And essentially, the first message just talked about what it what it means, how powerful it is. We're essentially building new systems and governments that are in alignment with our divine sovereignty as individuals, excuse me, and human beings. So essentially, these systems will be put in place that in alignment with universal law, which is also in alignment with our divine sovereignty, and like essentially it'll be more fair, it'll be freer systems. Well, it's not to say there isn't contrast, because there's always going to be some level of contrast for growth, because that's just how the universe works, but it'll be a much flowing free system, and we won't have as much just different elements of people trying to control us and use our consciousness and our free will against us, that sort of thing. And so Pluto is about like unearthing what's hidden, hidden information, hidden knowledge. It's also who really has the powers, because somebody that is in charge, that has authority, which is more Saturnian, isn't necessarily the one that has power, in the sense that who has the last say. You know, there's you think of like the different monarchies, and you know, even Egypt, there was always there could be consorts, there could be advisors that were very plutonic. You know, they were the ones pulling the strings, really behind the scenes and influencing the king, the pharaoh, whatever. I'm forgetting his name, but even the last Tsar family, there's this man, he was involved in the occult. I can't remember what his name is, but the last Tsar monarch family that ruled before the Bolsheviks overthrew the Tsar family. I cannot think of what his name is right now, but he had great influence over the Tsar's wife, and in turn, the Tsar. Hey, Alex Rolfe. um, yeah, I think I've just been doing it for, well, I've been doing it for almost 8 years in this life, but I think I've been an astrologer in many past lives, so I think it just comes naturally to me. Not to brag or anything, it's just one of my talents that is part of my soul, and what I came here to do to help raise consciousness. But yeah, do you have like a question about a specific placement or anything, or? You gotta give me something to work with. Even if you have a question about your sun sign, you probably at least know your sun sign, right? Oh, okay. No worries. Well, if you find out, you can always like comment on this live or comment on one of my other videos, and you can always come back with a question. See, like getting back to Pluto and Aquarius, like Pluto is that, again, who has the power, and also represents transformation, kind of the inner workings of transformation. Oh, gotcha. Okay, so you're just starting out. That's a really exciting place to be in, though. Astrology is a very vast subject, and there's different branches of astrology and just all different routes you can go with it. But yeah, Pluto and Aquarius. So Pluto is mixed with Aquarius. It's helping to level the playing field with power. Who has the power? And with Aquarius, you know, it's society, it's humanity, it's technology as well. But it's basically creating these new systems and these new governments again that are going to essentially level the playing field with power. So since Pluto has such a long transit, it takes, I believe it's like 240-ish years to go through the whole zodiac. When it was last in Aquarius was during the French Revolution. So what astrologers do is they'll look back at what was going on during that last time that it was in that position, in that sign. And obviously we saw like a brand new way of running government, you know. That was when the monarch, we shifted from like one person, a monarch, having all the power to now the power is distributed amongst the people, and the government and the people have the same level of power, you know. And here in the U.S. as well, that's kind of a whole nother can of worms, because what a lot of people don't realize is there's a U.S. corporation that was overlaid over the existing republic, but that's for another time. But just speaking on how our government was set up originally by the founding fathers, you know, there's this distribution of power amongst the executive branch, the legislative branch, and the judicial branch, and we the people are represented by the legislative, you know, Congress people, senators, and representatives. So again, that's that more level, equal distribution of power between the people and government, and really the government answers to us. So we're going to be essentially looking at something similar to that, but even better. To me, that's even more aligned with universal law, and I think a more spiritually based system. And that's also, you know, it's going to be incorporating AI as well, and you know, that can go two routes. I talked about that in my last video with Pluto Aquarius, is we have to watch out, because there are two sides to every placement. So there is a shadow side of this, and we have to watch out for a technocracy where the former controllers try to control us through technology, because they're still fighting tooth and nail to hold on to whatever power they have left. But I fully believe we, the people, not just speaking as American, but just Earth in general, humanity, we the people have the power to create and change these systems for the better and to allow more freedom and expression. Just, you know, as human beings. And so, is there anything else I wanted to say about that? Just basically wanted to say that the Pluto in Aquarius is representing tearing down these structures where power is imbalanced and transforming it into a new system of equality and equal distribution of power, because that's Aquarius. And this has been going on, you know, for really the last, we'll say for sure, since Neptune in Aquarius began, which was 98, I think. So Neptune kind of created the dream and the astral framework, because everything starts, you know, in the astral, and it created that dream of a new reality. of freedom and, again, that equal distribution of power, and the release of technology as well that has been held back from us, that can help better humanity. That's another big aspect of Pluto and Aquarius. But Neptune started it, and then we had also Uranus and Aquarius that electrified the idea, put it into, that made it conscious and put it into the, because Neptune operates on the subconscious, so it's like the collective subconscious, and then Uranus electrified it and put it into the collective conscious. And then during the tyranny that we experienced 4 years ago, the end of 2020, Saturn and Jupiter became conjunct in Aquarius and started this new cycle, where Saturn and Jupiter will now be in air signs for the next, I think it's every time they come together, they'll be an air sign. So I think it's like a 200-year cycle, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But that was really major. But it also, Saturn laid the groundwork now, more in a physical, material sense of creating these new realities, new systems. And then Jupiter just added that optimism and abstract ideas, kind of. It is the conscious mind, but it's more the abstract side of the conscious mind. So it just added new, fresh ideas to how we're going to do that. And then Saturn's grounding it and kind of beginning to bulldoze and tear down what's not working as well. And now with Pluto, it's kind of like what wasn't bulldozed and what remained hidden or secret is now going to be obliterated. Kind of like Pluto's kind of like nuclear energy. You know, you got the atomic energy. You have to kind of think of it in those terms. Like, it's very transformative and powerful. So this is kind of the last step, you know, in this process over the last 25 years or so of creating, you know, 5D Earth, New Earth, and that's why there's been so many, you know, star seeds and light workers that have come in during this period to help facilitate that. And yeah, so I think that about wraps it up. Don't think there's anything else I want to add to that. So again, I wish everybody well. Hope everybody's doing well. And appreciate you to like this live and subscribe and share if you are led to. Definitely helps me out, helps the channel. I send blessings your way, and I'll see you next time. Take care.